Welcome back to a brand new video. Now I'm excited about this one because we're talking about a complete guide of setting up to the golf ball from your short irons to your long irons, because we've been asked this question and I think this is really interesting, one that we've not done on the channel, from Stefano. He said, Alex, why don't you do a video about the consequences of having a setup with high or low hands? But I want to delve a little further. So I want to delve into the lie angle of your golf club and how that affects the starting direction. So something that having the wrong equipment can really detrimentally hurt your game. So let's get into this, give you a setup for your irons and a setup for your driver, as well as talking about some tech. So let's start off by talking about high and low hands. And I'm first off going to do this with, this is my 50, yeah, my 50, one of my 3 wedges that I carry. So if you watch closely from the down the line perspective, I think this is really important. So I'm going to set up to this golf ball, and I'm not going to hit 50 here because there is water short, and I'm going to have really low hands. Now have a look at this close up. As I put my hands lower and lower, and I exaggerate this, look how the toe of the golf club comes off the ground. Now this is called face plane tilt. Essentially, that the lie angle's wrong of your golf club, it can point and start the ball left. So I put my hands so low here, I've made this club far too upright, giving the toe a position off the ground. Now if you watch closely, if I get my hands far too high here, look how it would have the opposite effect. This would actually get the face plane tilt, or the angle between the lie angle and the loft, pointing too much to the right of target. But there's something very important to understand here. It's all well and good having a look at this at address and affecting it at address, but it's what it does to your dynamic lie angle. So effectively what I'm saying here is the lower your hands and the higher your hands is affecting the lie angle of your golf club. Okay, now you could start with your hands here and swing in here. So if you come up too much with your hands upright, this could affect the way in which you hit the golf club. If you come in with your hands too low, this can affect your starting direction of your golf club. Now this is all relative to you. So hit that thumbs up button actually. Have you ever been fitted? Now when you've been fitted, you might have put some tape on this area of your golf club. So what you should look for is that you're marking the center consistently. This would show that we're bringing in that golf club perfectly. So nice and simple to lesson. Obviously, if you start with your hands high, you're probably going to bring them in high. If you start them with them in low, I tend to actually see people bring it in too high. So essentially, setup's not everything, but it definitely has an impact on the mechanics of your golf swing, in the sense of, look at this position. It can change, too low, might get too handsy. Bear with me on this. So I've obviously said at the start, I've got my 50, but if I grab my 4 iron, have a look at the difference of where my hands would be. Okay, right here. So naturally, as I get a little bit further away from the golf ball, my club, my hands may be a little bit lower, potentially. Now, it shouldn't be too much difference, but what you would see here is, for that club to sit flat with a pitching wedge, I have to get a lot closer to it. Okay, look at the slight difference of the angles. So it's all relative to you. It's all relative to your golf club. So your hand position is vitally important at address, but also it's very important at impact. So let's give you some full routines now of how you can get this correct with your irons and with your driver. So we're going to hit some irons here. I think I'm going to need a 6 iron, so we're going to have to change club. So 6 iron, tougher yardage. Let's get into this. Okay, so nice simple routine. You can get into whatever club you've got. We'll start with iron. So for my 6 iron, I like to have my ball position just sort of 2 rolls from my zip line, so a little bit sort of towards target line. Now, what I want you to do is just rest that golf club on the side of you for the time being, okay? Just sort of forget that you've got a golf club. What I want you to do is I want you just to lean over from your hips slightly, let your hands dangle. Now, if we're somewhere comfortable like this, where my back of my armpits are sort of balanced over the toes and balls of my feet, you can see when my hands are hanging down. I would never want too much excessive extension or movement like this where the thumbs point to the ground, because that would make them higher. Vice versa, I wouldn't want it to be the opposite way. So nice and simple, we want that club just to hang down where we're comfortable And you can see from there, that gets us into a nice setup. We don't want to be too this way. We don't want to be too this way. So nice and simple. Get that good setup, that good ball position. That is absolutely vital. Now, before we take on this hard shot, let's just run through nice and simply with our driver. So what I said to you the other week, I was testing difference between the LS and just the LTDX, and I've settled. This is my driver for 2022. I'm very, very happy with this. Played it in Miami, drove the ball brilliantly, easy for me to say. Drove the ball brilliantly, and it was so nice to have something that felt really reliable. Okay, so driver setup, exactly the same. All I want you to feel is the ball positions inside your left heel and bring that right shoulder back. So you'd have a look a little bit like this, helping you hit up that right wing and smash it up on the golf ball. Nice and simple. So hopefully that answers that question. Let's just smash this away. Whew, that was it, so nice. There we go. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget we're doing daily tips, so subscribe to the channel because yours could be next. And to not miss out, hit the bell too.